Today is, as we said, St David's Day, so what better way to celebrate than to check in with our favourite Welshman? It's Terry Walton.
What's occurring in the Rhondda Valley? How are you getting on down there? Along there?
We're doing fine and welcome to Wales on St David's Day, where we celebrate our patron saint. And you can see I'm wearing the famous Welsh leek, worn by the Welsh regiments. They went into battle to frighten our enemies, and this is now also being superseded to some extent by the daffodil. But today is a fine day to actually be sowing the Welsh leek, and I actually sow these in 2 half trays to give them a good start in life before I actually put them out into the soil. And again, these will be sown in the half trays. And again, over to you, look at me, all my friends here in the cafe actually celebrating St David's Day, wearing the emblem, the good old daffodil. And here we are, we was going down to where we actually got the leeks growing. And again, when you sow the leeks, they will actually not be harvested until around about September, but then provide a good crop right through the winter months, right up until the very last 2 I have here now in March. So I shall now harvest those 2. Here we go. And around these you'll actually see a plastic tube. And this plastic tube makes the long shank of the leek. And these are then perfect for the good old crops that you can actually do along the way.
Lovely.
And those are the last 2 of the season, are they?
They're the last 2. I started harvesting. I grow 2 different varieties, one to harvest before Christmas and one to harvest in the New Year. So they're the very last 2 I keep for St David's Day. I'm growing them and they're the emblem of Wales. Tradition is I keep them until then.
And what about daffodils? What about daffodils?
Let me move. Well, here we are in front of us. We have the daffodils, and again, you can see them there. And the daffodils are the other emblem of Wales, which only recently, in probably the last 100 years, become traditional for St David's Day. And so these are all around the place and perfectly flowering just in time for March the 1st. And
is there a trick to getting the good colour, the good condition to your daffs?
Absolutely. Daffodils, don't neglect them. They're not one of these plants that will grow in neglect. When they start to flower, then buy a good proprietary soluble fertiliser, give them a good soaking once a week, and that will keep the colour, keep them flowering, and also feed the leaves to make good bulbs to give you a crop again the next year.
Oh,
lovely. So when you've grown your leeks and you've sowed your leeks, then what are you going to do with them? How do you eat them?
How do you eat them? Well, leeks can be used in many dishes, but the best dish in Wales is the good old famous Welsh cowl, which is used with leek and traditional Welsh breast of lamb. You make it into a stew and add all the vegetables you got in season, like parsnip, like swede, like carrots, like potatoes. All those are mixed in, and it makes a fabulously hot dish to serve on a cold March day.
Well, we've got a little bit here, actually. Look at this. We've got a little bit of a...
I hope...
Yeah, go on.
I hope that your cowl is made in a good old traditional way and as good as the one my wife makes.
It's so delicious.
I hope, yeah.
It's really good.
I'm sure you give it your seal of approval.
It's perfect for this weather. Do you like that?
Oh, it's
You're not
stunning.
sending some down the line. You're not sending some down the line to me, then.
I know. If we could, we would.
No, you've got your missus to cook yours.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the good stuff down there.
Well, yeah, but I got to wait a long time for that. You were getting yours fresh.
It's really, really lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. You've got reasonable weather there as well today, haven't you?
Well, it always does. It is the patron saint of Wales, so therefore the sun always shines on the righteous.
Look at that. Let's have a little look there all around you.
That looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so happy St David's Day to you and to all your mates. What, you're going to have a little bit of a pint now?
No, a bit early for a pint. We're gonna do a bit of work on the plot. It is a dry day, and a dry day in the Rhondda you have to take advantage of. So we will now enjoy the rest of the day, go home, have a beer on the way home, and then finally get into the situation, a good dish of Welsh cowl when I get back home.
You are a star.
You have a good life.
Well done.
That's a good life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
brilliant.
brilliant.
Bye to you both. Bye. Bye.